Ch1, a pipely problem, Mom. Pussy's gone out of the house, screamed Joseph. She's trying to get into one of the pipes outside. Oh, please, Mummy. Come outside. Mom called out, honey. You're 10 now. You shan't be a scaredy cat anymore. Mom. You don't understand. She's gonna go through the pipes and possibly get herself possibly killed, said Joseph, still worried. He then took a deep breath and ran towards the cat. He then stepped on something soft, then suddenly he saw a dead worm under his feet. Ah! A worm! Screamed Joseph. Joseph! You ought to bring the cat back at this instant and stop being a scaredy cat. Plus, Pussy shan't die, said Mother. Mom got angry and she faced towards the couch, on which Michael and Milo were sitting and relaxing on. Perhaps one of you could possibly go to the pipe near the shed and get Pussy out of it. Joseph is just too much of a scaredy cat, said Mom. But Michael serenely replied, Mom. It's 8 p.m. and you expect me to go near the dark shed and get Pussy out. That's absurd. I'm pretty sure Milo would be willing to do that, right, Milo? Milo replied, Me? Me? Nope. There's a better chance of seeing an unreal monster than asking me to go there. Mother sighed and she said, after all, it was useless asking 3 scaredy cats to get an easy job done. So, Mom went outside, still angry. She first laid her eyes on Joseph, who was just going to enter the house. She said, Young man. You are going to help me get Pussy out. Joseph replied, But it's such an easy job. One person ought to be enough. Oh no. I can't let you escape, after all, you were a scaredy cat. Listen, sweetie. Bravery is the key to success, said Mom. Joseph grumbled. He then went to help his mother. She said, Hold the pipes and I'll get Pussy out of here. Soon, Pussy got free, and she galloped far away. Ch2, an unexpected turn. Milo immediately rushed to the attic and got out his telescope. His mom said, Really? You need to use binoculars, not a telescope. I thought you were the 3 scaredy cats, not the 3 stupid boys. Suddenly, Milo gasped, It's Pussy. She ran into the woods. Kids, will you go and fetch Pussy? Said Mom. But we ought to get lost, said Joseph. Well, I think I have a spare map of the woods down in the basement. Let me go fetch it, said Mom. So, they all followed Mom back down the stairs and into the basement. It had been a while since any of them had entered the basement, so it was quite dusty and creepy. But the children had their mom with them, so the atmosphere didn't seem to get them. After a bit of scrambling through containers, they finally found the map. Although the map looked it was for a beach, that was all part of secret plans. Mom said, Aha! I've found it. Hooray, said Michael, sarcastically. I'm gonna give you boys some time to look at it and prepare. Just make sure you get the job done, said Mom. But why don't you join us, Mom, said Milo, a bit afraid. I have lots to do, so since you've got nothing better to do, I might as well hand the job over to you. Now quick. Pussy might have run far away, said Mom. Joseph said to Michael, I frankly think that something is up. I mean, why would Mom risk our lives just for Pussy? Who knows what could be in those woods? Michael said, even if we die, we can all go to heaven and stay there peacefully with no one to bother with us. The 3 boys were now looking into the map, trying to be more vigilant with the woods. Joseph said, There are so many turns. Chill. If we're lost, we're dead. If we aren't, then we're lead. Get it, like the strong element, lead, said Michael. Milo said, Your jokes are good, Michael. Only when you don't say them. Excuse me? At least I didn't make a joke that caused something really bad to happen, said Michael. Oh yeah, you're talking about the bad joke incident, right? Let's not talk about that. said Milo. Joseph said, enough. Let's go to sleep. That night, it was a bit difficult for any of the boys to get to sleep. The thoughts of the woods flashed in and out of their minds, and the thought of visiting there provoked them. They decided to crack some jokes. Milo began, I've seen 5 dumb people and you are 4 of them. Michael then exclaimed, you have an answer for everything. Except on how to stop talking, Joseph said, beats me that both of you can't stop your nonsense. You know what? Let's just go to sleep, said Michael, and so, everyone fell asleep, snoring away silently under the light of the moon. Ch3, entering the woods. The next morning, they packed their stuff and off they were. To the woods. At a first glance, it looked creepy and lonely. With trees having their leaves plundered and the abundance of darkness. Things were only about to get worse. Joseph said, this tree log can be our camp post. This is where we'll sit and do our stuff safely, Milo said. Let's have some snacks and then we can find our way through the forest. We've brought the map, right? Of course, said Michael. Then where is it? Asked Milo. Michael checked his bag and gave it to Milo. Milo exclaimed, that's just a piece of paper. You haven't forgotten it, have you? Joseph said, stop fighting. I have it right here. You two are very irresponsible. They took out their meal and started eating it. They didn't like their new dresses that their mom gave them. Let's continue our path. So this path says that we have to take a. Why do you have to be the boss, always leading us and acting all strong? I want to try, said Milo. Here we go again, said Joseph, sighing. Suddenly, they heard a weird sound. It sounded like clip clip. What's that noise? Said Michael, very traumatized. It's a monster, screamed Joseph and Milo. They all ran away as far as they could. Unfortunately, in the seizure of traumatizement, Joseph and Milo ran in one direction, while Michael ran in the other. Oh no! We've left the stupidest of us all by himself, said Milo. Well, one who lives stupid dies stupid, said Joseph, suddenly. They heard the same noise again. They turned back and saw a bird on a tree stump. Joseph said, all this time, it was a bird? We've got to find Michael ASAP, said Milo. For whatever is lurking in the deepest parts of the woods determines whether we'll save Michael or join him, said Joseph, looking very worried. Let's do this thing, said Milo, with a bit of motivation. Ch4, finding Michael, Joseph said, let's take a look at the map and see the possibilities of where Michael could have been. Milo asked, there is a river, thankfully. If we run out of water, the river could be our source. Nice thinking, said Joseph, very delighted. They continued to pursue their goal of finding Michael. Now, they were locked into one specific goal. A goal which, if pursued, could restore calmness. Finding Michael has begun. Whoosh! Just like that, it had turned into night. Still no sign of Michael. With a sigh, Joseph said, I feel like we have lost all reputation. We never did have a reputation to begin with, said Milo, sacrificingly. They both silently went towards the fence, sitting alone and sad. Under the moonlight, it seemed as if there was no hope for finding Michael. Even the little bits of hopes that were created died alone and scared. Suddenly, they saw Mom and Michael walking up to them in the forest. Mom said, well, I was the one to set this up for you guys. There was nothing dangerous in the forest anyways. Then, how did you find Michael? Said Joseph, very astonished. Well, he ran back towards home to call me. Well, at least 2 of my sons have proven themselves to not be a scaredy cat by not running towards home. Said Mom, come, let's go home and enjoy. Said Mom. And that was the end of a story of the 3 scaredy cats. Where is the cat?